Looking at a map of Somalia, it kind of looks like a boomerang. So how did the country get this unique shape? Let's explore. But first, a quick disclaimer. There's an area called Somaliland. Some people consider this to be its own country. Others consider it to be part of Somalia. I'm not going to make a stand on this, but for the sake of this video, to keep things simple, when I'm exploring the geography and shape of Somalia, I'm just going to kind of follow whatever the Somali federal government defines as its territory. This is not any kind of endorsement of this, but it just helps me keep things simple. Now, with that out of the way, let's look at some background. The first thing to understand is that the borders of what is now Somalia emerged through colonialism. What is now Somalia used to be two different colonies, British Somaliland in the north and Italian Somaliland in the south. Looking at the northern part with what used to be British Somaliland, part of this borders what is now Djibouti, which was a French colony until 1977. The French and the British up till the 1880s had a dispute over what the boundary was going to be, but they decided on a straight line between two cities, Djibouti city on one side and the city of Zila on the other side. They kind of looked at these two cities, found the equal point between them, and then just drew a straight line. Now let's look at the border with Ethiopia, starting off with the northern areas. In the 1880s, Emperor Menelik II of Ethiopia expanded into the Somali region of Ogaden. To avoid conflict, the British signed the Anglo-Ethiopian Treaty of 1897 and another treaty in 1941. What's surprising is the British actually used to claim a lot more area, but withdrew these claims, an area of roughly 170,000 square kilometers, handing over this territory finally in 1954. Now, with regards to the rest of the Ethiopian border, we have to look at what used to be Italian Somaliland. And the rest of the Ethiopian border is very vague. You'll often see maps with a dotted line. That's because the border is either disputed or not defined. The reason for this is because when Italy and Ethiopia came to an agreement on what the border would be, it was stipulated that this would just be 180 miles away from the ocean. But of course, the coastline is very jagged, and so drawing a straight line or a jagged line was difficult, and so to this day, this border is largely undefined. Now finally, let's go to the south with what is now Kenya. This used to be a British colony until 1963, and until 1924, part of what is now the southern region of Jubaland in Somalia was actually part of this British colony. The British handed over this area, though, to Italy as a reward for joining the Allies in World War I, and since 1924, this has now been the border with what is now Kenya and Somalia. So there you go. That's how Somalia got shape. Let me know what you think. Please leave a comment and keep it civil, okay? Thank you so much. Cheers.